The moon hung low over Lagos, its silver glow washing over the city's endless movement. But inside a small apartment, perched atop an old building, Zawadi sat alone, staring out the window. Her long, white-dyed hair cascaded over her shoulders, her black-framed glasses slipping slightly down her nose. In her hand, she held a tiny charm, a delicate silver wing, the only thing she had left of her friend, Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell wasn't just a fairy, she was Zawadi's guide, her believer when no one else was. The fairy had always whispered words of encouragement. "You have something special," she used to say. "One day, the world will see it too." But Tinkerbell hadn't appeared in years. Maybe she was gone for good. Maybe she had given up on her. Zawadi shook her head, wiping away the thoughts. No, Tinkerbell believed in her, and now, she had to believe in herself. Zawadi had always dreamed of becoming a world-renowned fashion designer. The colors, the textures, the way fabric could tell a story, she lived for it. But breaking into the industry was impossible, especially for a girl from a modest background. She admired Amahle Muse, the most famous African designer in the world, a woman whose creations were worn by the rich and powerful. Amahle was everything Zawadi wanted to be. For years, Zawadi struggled, working odd jobs and sketching designs late into the night in her tiny apartment. She saved every penny to buy fabric, sewing by hand because she couldn't afford a machine. The city was unkind to dreamers, but she refused to give up. One evening, an opportunity arose, a gala where Amahle Muse would be speaking. With barely enough money to rent a decent dress, Zawadi found a way in. She waited patiently, her heart pounding, until she saw Amahle. Summoning every ounce of courage, she approached her, voice trembling but determined. Amahle studied her for a moment before saying, "If you're serious about fashion, come work in my studio." Zawadi couldn't believe it. This was her chance. She worked day and night, absorbing everything, from fabric selection to runway preparation. But something felt off. Amahle's most breathtaking designs weren't created in her luxurious studio. Zawadi overheard whispers about the village, a mysterious place no one talked about. Determined to uncover the truth, Zawadi did her own research and eventually found the village, far away from the glamorous life Amahle presented. What she saw shook her to her core. Dozens of poor women sat in dimly lit rooms, weaving the intricate patterns that Amahle took credit for. Their hands moved with skill and precision, but their faces showed exhaustion. They were paid almost nothing, their art stolen and sold for thousands. Betrayal burned in Zawadi's chest. The woman she had idolized was nothing more than a thief in designer heels. She had a choice: stay quiet and continue working under Amahle, or fight back. Zawadi made her decision. She left the studio and returned to the village. She gathered the women, speaking to them with passion. "You are the artists," she told them. "Your work deserves respect. Let's build something together." With the little money she had, Zawadi opened her own boutique, Threads of Heritage. She made a promise. The women would be paid fairly, and their names would be attached to every design. No longer hidden in the shadows, their work shone under the lights of the fashion world. Amahle didn't take this lightly. She accused Zawadi of stealing her ideas. The rivalry became the talk of the industry, but Zawadi refused to be intimidated. She let the quality of her work speak for itself. And the world listened. Zawadi's boutique flourished, attracting attention from international buyers who appreciated both the craftsmanship and the ethics behind the brand. She had built something greater than fame, she had built a legacy. One evening, as she sat in her boutique, surrounded by laughter and the hum of sewing machines, a gentle wind brushed her cheek. She looked up, and for the briefest moment, she saw a tiny flicker of light, like the shimmer of fairy wings. A voice, soft as a whisper, echoed in her heart. "I told you the world would see it." Zawadi smiled, holding back tears. Tinkerbell had never left. She had simply been waiting for Zawadi to believe in herself.